Alrighty, everyone. So, today I want to discuss 5 things I want to see in Cube World Omega. Um, Now, we've gotten some updates from Wally, and so I want to talk about just a few of those things that we already know will be in the game, but I'm not going to go over them all, so please go look at his blog. I'll have the link in the description that has what he's already told us about it. So, procedural players, NPCs, pets, meaning like randomized graphics for them, I guess. I mean, obviously, like if it's a zombie, it'll look like a zombie, but one zombie will be distinguishable between the next zombie, right? They'll all be different, computer generated. So I think that'll be really cool. We know there's going to be a new user interface, like for example, a new inventory. So just how we interact with the game will be a little bit different. He said that he's also planning on bringing back experience, leveling, and skill trees. I'm reading that from a quote from the blog. So I hope planning means that he's going to do it, because I think that would be definitely really important to making this a success. And then another important thing that he's discussed are signature abilities, meaning like, for example, bats will like suck your blood, I guess, kind of like a vampire, and they can heal from that. So that's just an example, but that will be for every mob. There will be a slightly different ability, which will make fighting them different. You'll have to know how to approach different enemies, and that will add a lot of depth. So if you want to know more about what we already know, go read his blog, look at his tweets. But right now I want to go over the 5 things that I would like to see in Cube World Omega. So the first thing is region lock. So this is a specific thing that I want changed from the Steam version of Cube World. And I think there's a lot of good reasons for that. If you don't know what region lock is, or just don't know that terminology, for example, if you're playing Cube World from the Steam version, you'd be in your boat and you'd cross the line, pretty much like a state line, into a new region, and your boat would disappear, right? So everything was pretty much locked to the region that you got it in, and it made for really hard resets, and it really took away from the game because it was just hard to feel motivated. At least for me, this is how it felt. It was just hard to feel motivated to go onto a new region and to continue going on in the game. So that definitely is just to be altered. Whether that means it's totally gone or if it's just different, like it's just a softer reset, right? Like in all games, you're gonna go from the beginning and you're gonna go fight harder things, right, as you go out from where you were. So that's to be expected, but it's just how sudden it was that I think was so shocking to everybody. So I think like a good example of what could be changed is like, for the boat example, is if you went into a new region, but you'd keep your boat, but in this new region there'd be a better boat available, right? And so like you could go find that and your boat would be better, and it'd be worth going and finding it or whatever, something like that, just to make going from region to region an enjoyable thing rather than like a grueling task, you know. So I think that's the number one thing that needs to be changed, but that's really just progression in general, how he chooses to progress the game, and how he chooses for us to progress in the game. So hopefully that is changed. One thing that I think is definitely needed is sea stuff, like SEA, not like visual things, but SEA, like water. There needs to be stuff in the water. Right now there's not really anything. I would really like to see sea creatures or pirates. I think pirates would be really fun. Or both, right? It really just, as of right now, there's nothing going on, and so there's a lot of potential there, and there needs to be, because it's a big part of the world, and so you don't want to just be going through boring water, right? You want something to be able to happen, and so I think that's definitely something that needs to be added for this version. The number three, third thing that I would like to have added to this version is just more things when I'm exploring, right? Right now I feel like I have a location I want to go to, and I have to walk there for 5 or 10 minutes or however long it takes me to get there. And yeah, there's creatures on the way. Maybe we'll find a few things to collect, like wood or something. But it just seems very like I'm just trying to go from point to point to point, which isn't how I want to play. I want to see. I want to be distracted on my way to each point, right? And I think that could be done with like more elaborate caves. So like you go in a cave and you have to fight through certain monsters, and at the end there's like a chest, right? Or just like random houses. Really, it just needs stuff to distract you on your way. I think that would just add a lot to the experience, because you do so much of traveling that you need something in between the points that you're going to. Another big thing for me are side quests. I really like side quests in games, and I think it would add so much to Cube World, because you could just talk to a bunch of NPCs and get a quest to go get cheese, or to go kill 5 of these types of animals, or go kill a dragon, right? Like that would be cool, right? Like those would be fun things to do, and it might even fix the exploration problem that I was just talking about, because then you'd have something that you're trying to do on the way to other points, right? You need to find 50 cotton for this person, so you're keeping your eye out for cotton, right? And then kind of along with that, my number 5, which maybe this is one of the more important ones as well, is just a main objective. So kind of a main story quest. It doesn't really need to have a story, I don't think. It can. I would definitely like it. I like stories in my games, but it doesn't necessarily need it. It just needs an objective. Like, you need to accomplish this by, or not, you just need to accomplish this, right? Not by a certain time, just like, this is your end goal. And for me, that would just give me a direction I want to go, and would give me some purpose, right? Right now I have a hard time, or just in games in general, I have a hard time when there's not like an end goal, right? I need to know that I'm working towards something. And so if Wally was able to add just like something like that, and I would like it to be difficult, right? I want to play this game for a long time. I don't want to be able to do it in an hour. I would like to play this game for 100 hours, 200 hours, 300 hours, something, right? Like, and just barely be able to beat the main storyline, the main quest. And then still have, just be able to go on an adventure if I want to, right? But I want it to be a difficult thing that I have to really put time and effort into to be able to beat. I have to know how to play the game. I can't just be button mashing and be able to win the game, right? It's something that would really take skill and time and effort. I think that would be really, really fun if that was part of Cube World. So those are my 5 things that I would like to see in Cube World Omega. I'm sure there are a lot of other things, so let me know if you have any ideas. But those are mine. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Bye.